back to Loopy Mabel Vintage Style Crochet. My name is Jane, and in today's video it's just a short yarn review on the latest yarn I've been working on, which is the King Cole Riot double knit yarn. So if you've never used this yarn before and you may be wondering whether to buy it or not, or you've been interested in it but you've never actually used it, so I thought I'd just do a quick review on it, and hopefully that may help you when choosing your next yarn, and maybe you can add it to your yarn wish list too. So I thought I would give you a quick review of this lovely yarn that I was talking about. It's the King Cole Riot double knit yarn. I have 3 of the shades, but there's 28 shades in total, and all the shades you'd be struggling to choose which one to use. I think I would probably try them all eventually because they're all such lovely colour shades. Really rustic, vintage, subdued, muted colours, but they've also got a touch of vibrancy to them. So it's just the type of yarn that I would probably lean towards. As I say, I've never used this yarn before. The first time I used it was when I did the Granny Stitch Beret, which is, just show you here. This is using the Autumn shades, which is this one here, and it's got beautiful emerald greens going down into moss greens, golden mustard colours, burnt orange into like a plum. Really gorgeous, as I say, subdued but vibrant too, really vintage looking. And then after I used that yarn, I was so impressed, I then did the Granny Stitch Capelet, and this shade is the Juniper, and yet again gorgeous shades. This goes from very pale pink, almost white, down into like a dusky rose, like cerise pink, and then shades of grey. And by obviously the bigger the project that you use, the colours obviously going to be more spread out. If you're using like a smaller project like the beret, the colours are going to be closer together and obviously look a little bit more intense. But really lovely yarn. It's got like a spring to it, like a bounce. It's difficult to explain. It's a soft yarn. It's not the softest yarn because obviously it's got wool in it. It's got 30% wool and 70% premium acrylic, and there's 324 yards. It's 100-gram balls, and if you're buying it in England, about £3.60, £3.70 a ball for 100 grams, and it's got 30% wool in it. I think that's quite good value. And because it's got the wool in it, it does have like a hairy texture to it, and it's got a lovely soft sheen too, and it is soft yarn. It's not the softest yarn I've ever used, but it's really quite tactile, and it is like got little bits of hairy fibres to it, and that'll be obviously the 30% wool that's included in it. And it's almost got like a feel of it's just literally come off the sheep and been like spun on a spinning wheel and then wound into a ball of wool. It's as I say, it's double knit, and it's parts of it feels like double knit thinness, and then other parts feels more thicker and like rustic. As you can see there, that section there, it's like it's just been spun on a spinning wheel, but it crochets up really lovely. I've got a little swatch here just to show you how it glides on the hook, and it's a lovely smooth yarn. Really like it. It doesn't split. So obviously because it's got wool included in it, if you had to pull it out, if you made a mistake, which I do quite often, it may be a little bit more trickier to pull out. I'll just do a few more stitches and we'll see what it's like to pull out. But as I say, it doesn't split. I'm using a 4mm hook here. And let's have a go at pulling it out. pulled out okay, but I can imagine it can probably catch maybe a little bit, so just be careful if you're pulling it out, but it's no big issue, I wouldn't think. And it's like I said, it's quite a light yarn, but it works up quite thick, so it really warm as well. So, and it's got like a springy feel to it. When I did the capelet, it feels really light, but quite a dense feel to it. It's quite hard to explain, and it's quite springy, like a bouncy yarn. As I said, obviously, and I hadn't used it before, and I just was really impressed with it the first time I used it. So I definitely will be trying maybe all the other colours as I go along. So yeah, so the three colours I've got is the autumn, which is the beret one. Then this one is the juniper, which is the greys and the pinks. And then I've got another one which I haven't used just yet, and this is the cool. So it's got blues, golds, greens, a little bit similar, but more blues and pinks in this one. So this is probably going to be my next project. I really like it. And the colours were hard to choose, so these are the three I chose. To be honest, all 28 colours are just so pretty and lovely that I took ages just to pick these three. But yeah, it's a lovely yarn. I'm really impressed with it. I've never used it before, never in fact heard of it before. It was only when I was searching on the internet for a double knit yarn. I wanted something a little bit different, and I came across this and got 3 shades to give it a try. Really love it, really impressed. So yeah, in my opinion, this is going to go down on one of my favourite yarn lists, definitely. So it's just, as I say, just a quick review on what I think of this yarn, and if it helps you in choosing your next yarn, and maybe, like I say, you've never heard of it before, you wanted to give a new yarn a try, then I would highly recommend this. I will definitely be using it again. I think it's really good value for money, and it works up really pretty, and the colours are amazing. So I hope this helps you, and maybe you can add it to your next yarn wish list too. So I hope you enjoyed this quick review on the King Cole Riot double knit yarn. But I just thought it would be helpful maybe to you if you're looking at using maybe a yarn that you've never used before, because there are a lot of yarns out there on the internet to choose from, and sometimes it can be an absolute minefield in what you should or shouldn't pick. So I thought I'd just share with you what I thought of this yarn. It may help you, but it's certainly a lovely yarn maybe to add to your yarn wish list if you like this type of yarn. So until the next time, please take care and happy crochet!